Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Being Software Engineer. My name is Akash. So today in this video we are going to learn how to call other microservice through using Eureka server, Eureka service registry and discovery server. Okay, this is the third part of the microservices video. In the first part we have learned the basics of microservices, how to call microservices using REST template.get object. In the second part we learned how to call microservices using REST template.exchange, and this in this part we are going to learn how to call microservices or Spring Boot apps using Eureka server. So actually microservices are the set of Spring Boot apps, and they call each other and send exchange data between themselves. So before going further, if you haven't subscribed my channel, please subscribe my channel so that you will never miss an update regarding my videos, and please press the bell icon also. And if you like this video, please press the thumbs up. Okay, let's start with the today's topic now. So in the previous tutorial we have seen that we had request Spring Boot app and another is response Spring Boot app. So we had these two Spring Boot applications, request, which was sending request to response Spring Boot app, and response Spring Boot app was sending data to request Spring Boot app. Let's go through it quickly. So this is the main application where we have configured REST template. Then this is the controller where we have defined the get request, and then there is a request parameter as pay group and company ID as request header, and we are calling get details from the service. Okay, in get details we are calling request service, response service using this URL. This is the response service is deployed in this at this 8080 port. Okay, so we are calling response service through this URL using REST template.exchange. Okay, let's go to response service quickly. So this is the main application file of response service. Then we have controller here. The request will go from the service of request service will come to this controller, and then it will go from the controller to fetch employee of service response service app class. Then from a response service app class get employee fetch, we will go to get from list, and it will give us list of employees respective to pay group. Okay, this is the pay group. So this is the actually Pojo, and in this Pojo this is employee ID, name and email address, and then pay group. So last element is the pay group. Okay, so let's start with the implementation now. So what we will do is we will first download the Eureka server. Okay, so we will go to start.io and let's download the project from here. Let's let's go to spring.io, Spring Initializer, and then let's use 2.3.4 Maven project and name it as com.bsc, that is Being Software Engineer, and then artifact as we will use Eureka server example. Okay, because we are using Eureka. So actually why we use Eureka, that is one more thing I had to cover. So why we use Eureka? Because thing is we already have used and we have already seen that how to call microservice, or how to call Spring Boot apps, and how to exchange data between them using REST template, or you can use web template. There are many things which you can use, but we have used REST template. So why we need Eureka? Actually Eureka server is needed because if you work in bigger application, there will be many microservices, many Spring Boot apps, and there will be many configuration created in the application properties file. So it will be really difficult to maintain the application or properties file, and if your service location gets changed, then you will have to change the application or properties file, the entry of the application, and that is actually not recommended to be done. So that's why we use Eureka server. So what we does in Eureka server is we register the service in Eureka server, and we register every service in Eureka server, and we call that service through its name. So even if that service location is changed or its port change or anything is changed, we don't need to do anything. The Eureka server updates itself. Okay, it takes care of all the location changes. Okay, so no need to do anything. So that is the use of Eureka server. Okay, that is why we are using, and that is why the in real projects also you will see Eureka server is used, or you will see Zool, Netflix Zool is used, or a NAS router is used. So okay, so these are the things which you will be seeing in real projects, so that you no need to do entries manually. Okay, so let's add the dependency here. So let you go through Netflix projects. So Netflix, like Spring Cloud Netflix, has many projects. So these are the 4 projects it has, and there is one more, that is Eureka server. Zool is used for intelligent routing. Then then Ribbon is used for, this is for load balancing. Okay, if we have multiple if we have service in install on multiple instances, so what happens is which service will be called at runtime, that will be that will be decided by Ribbon. If you use Ribbon, then there is a add that load balancer and load balancing class, which we can use to decide which means the Ribbon itself will take care of calling the services at runtime. Whichever service will be available, that will be called. And then Histrix is used for circuit breaker. Like Histrix is used when if the service is failing 2 to 3 times, and then at what time service should break the circuit. So that logic we need to write in Citrix. So that is for that project Citrix is used. Then there is Citrix dashboard. I think it is the same as Citrix. Let's go to Eureka now. We will use Eureka here. Okay, let's download the Eureka server from here. Okay, and let's click on generate. Okay, we generate the Java 8 project with Eureka server dependency. Let's go to the project folder, and we will extract it. Extract it into the Spring Boot, and then microservice basic, and here we will extract it here. Okay, extract here. We got the extract project. So we have imported the project here. Okay, let's see what we got in the project. We got application main. Okay, and then we will add here at enable Eureka server annotation, because we need to enable the Eureka server. Okay, so let's add it here, enable Eureka server. Okay, we got this because we are going to add it. We are going to enable the Eureka server, that's why we need to add this entry here. And the default port of the Eureka server is 8761, so we can override that port also, and we will override that here. And we can add, for that we can add in server, in application.properties file, we can add that server.port, as we'll make it as 8090 for now. Okay, so what actually thing is, in Spring Boot application you will get application.properties, but in real application, in microservice application, you will not get application.properties, you will get application.yml files. And in if I talk about my projects, I work on microservice projects only. So in my projects, there are different YML files there are different YML files for development environment. There is different YML file for QA environment. There is different YML file for production. There is different YML file. So you will find .yml file there, not application.properties file there. Okay, so you can consider it for now. You can consider application.properties as YML. They both are same, but the name is different. And in I will show you, like in application.yml file what you need to do. In application.yml file, you need to assign it as server, and then here you need to add port, and then you can add here 8080. So like this you need to annotate in case of application.yml file, but in application.properties file you can annotate, you can declare it like this. Okay, so let's go to, now we have done this for Eureka server, and now we will add the entry of Eureka server. Okay, we will add some more entries in Eureka server, because there are 2 entries I need to add in application.properties file. These are the 2 entries. So Eureka client dot register with Eureka. What it mean is Eureka server is itself a client. So so it should not register the Eureka with itself. That's why we should make it as false. Okay, and fetch registry means fetch registry is also false, because the thing is Eureka service itself is a client, and it is a server also, so it should not register itself. It should register only the client services like consumer services, producer services, or any other microservices, but it should not register itself. That's why we need to make these two entries as false. Okay, now let's go to application. Okay, let's go service. Okay, before that we'll go to response service, and then in response service we have this service main class. In main class we need to add @discovery server. Okay, we need to add enable discovery server. We need to add, okay, enable discovery client we need to add. And then we need to actually we are doing we are saying that this application should be discovered to the client. Okay, that's why we are adding enable discovery client here. And then after that we need to add entries in the application or properties file. We will set this application to port 8082. Okay, and then we will add its name. We will register this name with Eureka server. For now we will not add it. Just what we'll do is, now we will first start the Eureka server project. Okay, let's go to main class, and then let's start this Eureka server project. Okay, it's launching, and then let's go to here. Okay, it's taking time to launch. Okay, it's launched. So it's launched on 8090. Okay, let's go to this application now. Let's go to localhost 8090. Okay, so this is a Eureka server, and we can see that there are no instances available in this Eureka server. So there will be instances or register services available in this application entries. Instances currently registered with this Eureka. Okay, so it will show the instances which are registered with the Eureka. So there are no Eureka registered with this server now. Let's register them one by one. So we will first register the response service, and for that we need to add one entry, which is this one. Okay, which is saying that eureka.client.service url.default zone 8090, because its default zone is now 8090/Eureka. Okay, so that we can find out where the Eureka is. So this is the location of Eureka, and then we will name the application name. Okay, then we'll say that spring dot application dot name is equal to, so this is a response service, so we'll say it as response producer app. Okay, we'll register it as response producer app. Okay, and then so we are naming, this is the name will be registered in the Eureka server at this location. This is the location of Eureka server, and this is the name will be registered in the Eureka server location. So let's go to now the request. So this is what we did it for producer or response service. Now let's go to request service. So in request service we are calling the response service from request service app. So here how we are calling is, we are directly calling the URL through 8080, but it's now on 8082, right? It's been on now 8082. Okay, so now we need to what we'll do is, we will first reload this. We will first start this application, we'll first start this response service application. Let's start it, because once we start this application, this service will be registered with the Eureka server. Okay, the server is started, and we can see that in console that it's saying that this registered instance response service producer of this location with the Eureka server. Okay, so this is the actual name which we have asked Eureka servers to register. Let's go to Eureka server now. Let's reload it. Okay, we got the application name. Let's see this. So we got this response producer app registered in the Eureka server. Okay, Eureka server registry. So let's go to now request service. In request service, we will call this Eureka server. Okay, first of all, we need to add. We'll be adding here also. We'll add the location of Eureka server here also in this application.properties file, and we'll register this service also with the Eureka server, and we'll name it as spring.application.name, and we'll name it as request consumer app, because it is consuming the response of the response service, that's why. Okay, and then we will go to response request service, and then here we will do one thing. We'll annotate @autowired, and then we'll annotate discovery client. Okay, we'll call discovery client here. Discovery client. Okay, discovery okay, and then what we'll do is we will go into the method. We will get all the instances of at this discovery client. Discovery client means the discovery client means the Eureka server discovery client. Okay, so we'll get all the instances available in the discovery client. Okay, we need to add at what instance we need to get the responses. Okay, so we have already added this service to Eureka server, so we'll get all the instances of this service. So why all the instances? Because the service can be installed on many instances. So instances mean like the response producer app can be installed on 8080, 8081, 8082, because when we go in microservice architecture, that time one microservice is installed on many instances. So that's why we are getting all the instances of the particular microservice. Actually, we don't do that in real application. I'm just telling you how we can do it using discovery client and Eureka server. Okay, I will show you how we should be doing using load balancer. That is the advanced concept. I will show you. I will tell you how to do that using load balancer. Okay, let's get it now. It will return list of. So it will return this list of service instances, and then from this we will get the first instance. Okay, dot get from list we'll get the first instance. Okay, and then this will return the service instance. Okay, we'll say instance. Okay, and then we convert this instance to actual string URL. Okay, so get URI dot to string. Okay, then we'll get the string, so we'll assign it to string. Base, we'll name it as base URL. String. Okay, and what is this actually base URL is? This base URL means this localhost /8080 is the base URL. Why this localhost slash 8080? Because if we go to Eureka server, you can see that this response producer app is registered as at 8082. Okay, so, sorry, so 8082 localhost 8082 is the location of the response producer app. So this will be the actual URL. So if we click on it, we can see that this is showing the actuator, but actual URL will be this much only. Okay, so you need to use this much URL only. So let's use this URL as this base URL plus, and then open it with the actual git mapping. So this git mapping details slash BSC and pay group as the quick request param. If we go to this controller, we can see that this m detail slash BSC is the actual URL, and pay group is the request parameter. Okay, let's start the application, and let's hit the application now, and let's see the result. Okay, I will start the application now, the request service application. Okay, I have started. Okay, so okay, till the time it gets started, we will see that, because the thing is, what will happen is, once it is get started, it will register this that request consumer app with this Eureka server. And even if we change the response producer app, this the path will be updated here, so we know any changes, the Eureka server will take care of everything. Okay, and it will show that which service is up, which service is down, and everything it will show. Okay, so this is the use of Eureka server. Let's see if it has registered this request consumer app with it. See, this has been registered request consumer app. Okay, it is showing because the server has not started it completely, that's why it is showing this disclaimer, but it has registered this consumer app with it, which is at 8081. So let's hit the server now from the Postman. Okay, let's go to Postman now. Okay, so we already have the which is at 8081, and then this, let's hit it. Okay, we got the result. Let's hit it for different pay group. 81, I have this pay group also. Okay, I got the result. Okay, so this is what how we can use Eureka server in for Spring Boot application communication, and this is what will be used in real applications. So thank you very much for guys for watching this video, and please subscribe to my channel, and please like the videos. Thank you very much. Bye bye.